Am I audible?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Relax, algorithm. I think we should start now. Okay. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to all of you on in another episode of Bazar Pe Charcha. Today, 20th April 2022, and from the last week we are really facing volatile move in market. So let's see how market is placed and various sector is placed. Then we will take various queries from you, stock queries. But before discussing further anything, this is our disclaimer from our side that whatever we are going to discuss, please do not consider as a buy or sell recommendation. Please consider it as an education purpose only. And we are not having any exposure in any particular stock or index. So as per O'Neill methodology of market direction, this is the current placement of overall market. Like if I talk about our broader index, that is Nifty and Sensex, so it is an under pressure. I think yesterday only we have moved it from rally to under pressure because it has corrected around 5%, 6% from recent top, that is 18,100. Then it has now with this distribution days, I think elevated to 4 or 5, I think. And further it has reached key moving averages like 200 EMA and other also. But at the same time, today, if I talk about today, Nifty bounced back from exactly taking support around 200 exponential moving average. We will discuss further when we will move on chart actually. So this is the current overall placement. Like if I talk about sector point of view, the rally reality is still in reality, pharma, energy, metal, and auto as well. All still trending in confirmed uptrend or rally trend. But apart from this, other sectors like broader index itself and Nifty 50 and Sensex, then banking another major, IT another major one, which is it is in clear cut correction because of TCS earning and Infosys earning, after especially after TCS and Infosys earning, and then FMCG related. So I can say that the overall market as per O'Neill methodology is showing clear, not clear cut picture. It shows some mixed picture that something is doing good, something is not doing as per expectation, and something is really bad like IT actually. Okay, so let's move to our chart. Okay, so we will discuss in detail. So if I talk about Nifty 50, so Nifty 50, when I was discussing about Nifty 50, so there was a key level yesterday, that 17,150, and started trading session. Uh, it breached that even yesterday. If I talk about yesterday, so yeah, after opening started trading session, it remained traded in positive trajectory, but somehow it was not able to hold in positive trajectory, and it has breached that 17,150 decisively in second half. And after that there was a sharp fall happened in second half, especially in last 2 hour of trade. And finally Nifty breached fell to 16,840. Now why is 16,840? Because it is a level of 200 exponential moving average, and today also once again it took support around that exponential moving average and bounced back from that particular level. So now what next actually? So if we do a lot of multi-time frame analysis now, so multi-time frame analysis, let's discuss about from a monthly point of view perspective. So if I talk about a monthly point of view, that momentum now after almost 6 months of correction or sideways kind of trend, which started in I think second week of from started from second week of October. Now this momentum on monthly chart is also indicating some trend deterioration. First thing. Another thing is that if I talk about monthly point or the weekly point of view, the weekly analysis of weekly charts along with uh, various indicators, it now, at least in my opinion, now it clearly shows that the second phase of correction has started. Like if you remember, I think 1.5 year back, 1.5 month back, when Nifty corrected to 15,700, and after that started bounce back. At that time, I have clearly mentioned in our webinar that now first phase of correction is over. Now we will see very good bounce back. Even I have also not expected that market will bounce back up to 18,100, but it has bounced back somehow. Now it has faced resistance around this downward sloping trend line. If I talk about the downward sloping trend line, so let me move on this trading view chart. So let me make it on full screen, 1 minute. Okay, so this is the downward sloping trend line here. This particular trend line, sky blue color downward sloping trend line. So it faced once again faced resistance around this particular level here around 18,000 to 20,100, and afterwards started falling. Likewise, if I talk about this weekly chart, also the same pattern is also there. If I talk about a weekly momentum analysis point of view, so weekly momentum, that is RSI analysis, clearly indicate that now we have entered into second phase of correction. And now if it is, but at the same time, it is too early to comment. But what is in my mind, it is my duty to share with you that in my mind, or as per my analysis, or as per, it may be wrong. Let me make you very clear that it may be wrong. But in my opinion, or as per my expectation, or as per my analysis, I am expecting that slowly and gradually market will start falling in downward trajectory. Or most probably, in my opinion and my personal research point of view, most probably my market is, or Nifty 50 is ready to move toward 14,000 kind of levels in coming few months. So in coming few months, it will take another 3-4 months to fall around that particular level. So I am expecting that now this is a second phase of correction started in overall market, and slowly and gradually this trend will deteriorate in downward trajectory only, and slowly and gradually in next 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months, or maximum 6 months, or maybe by end of Diwali, I can say market will slowly and gradually will move toward 14,000 kind of level. So 17,000 is current level and 14,000, so I can say that roughly around 3,000 points of 2,800 to 3,000 kinds of correction may happen further from here in Nifty especially. Okay, but what else if it is not happen, if suppose if my analysis goes wrong in that particular thing. So first resistance in current scenario is this gap down, and this particular gap down happened over here, so I can say that 14,500, and then finally 18,200, 18,100, 18,200. Suppose somehow Nifty will cross, suppose some bounce back will happen from here, then I would expect that if Nifty will cross 18,100 and so followed by 18,400, then I can say that my analysis goes wrong, and then in such particular thing market will enter into first fresh up move actually. So but meanwhile, I am not able to see such kind of scenario, where rather I am facing, I'm able to observe, I can say that most probably that slowly and gradually trend will deteriorate further from here, and slowly and gradually in coming few months market will move toward 14,000 level. But at the same time, it is too early to comment. I'm not saying that it will, but it may happen. So in my opinion, this is the scenario. But further from here, if I talk about from next week perspective only, so this 200 exponential moving average, that is 16, this is 16,840, I think. Currently it is placed around 16,800 or 16,850 in between. So once, unless and until it is holding this particular range, as such, there will not be any major fall happen, or it may remain traded in sideways. But once it will reach that particular level, then we can say that more negativity will be there in coming few weeks. So this is the one. Another support is 16,100 in downside. Falling below that particular range, I can say that if further downtrend will accelerate, market this trend will accelerate further in downward sloping, downward side. Another observation that I would like to share with you, that crossover on 50 DMA and 200 DMA on daily chart. So suppose once again, this analysis of moving average, that especially 50 DMA and 200 DMA, indicate that there is some crossover, negative crossover, or that crossover is already placed or already plotted on chart. But once again, in my opinion, or as per my analysis, I can say that once again, once market will further fall from once again that level of 16,100, then that will really start working like death cross and everything. So immediately 16,800 is a key level to watch. Once it will fall below that particular level, then we can say that the market will start deteriorating in downward trajectory. Okay, so this is my opinion about Nifty. Now let's talk about Bank Nifty. Nifty Bank. So if I talk about Nifty Bank, so if I exclude this particular level, this particular rally, that rally started from 32,000 after correction to this particular to 38,000. If I exclude this part only, this part means the from the March 10, March 9, March 8 to March 8 to April 4. So I can say that approximately 3 weeks. If I exclude the almost 3 week of trend or rally, then I can say that Nifty has consistently outperformed from the last February 2021. If I exclude this particular portion, 1 month rally or 3 to 4 week rally. Otherwise, it remained consistently underperformed actually. Sorry, not outperformed, underperformed compared to Nifty 50, and still it is underperforming. So another thing is that now it is if there was a earning of HDFC Bank, and now earning is not that much attractive or as per market expectation, and that is the another reason that once again this Bank Nifty is also started trending in downward trajectory. So whether to buy this particular this HDFC Bank or other major banks at current level or not, that is different point of discussion. I don't want to go on that side. But if I talk about index point of view, especially Bank Nifty, so it is not looking once again that much attractive. Even as per O'Neill methodology, also it is not looking that much attractive. And as per technical point of view, is also not looking that much attractive. So maybe it will remain traded in sideways with negative bias, obviously not positive bias. But at the same time, suppose it will cross this particular downward sloping, this black color trend, this downward sloping trend line here I have drawn. So this, if suppose it will manage to cross and hold this particular range, and then followed by 38,800 is a level. Suppose it somehow it will manage to cross above that 38,800 level, then I can say that the positivity will return in this banking space. Otherwise, it will remain traded in sideways with negative bias. Same time, if I talk about multi-time frame analysis, so multi-time frame chart, if I talk about a weekly point of view or monthly chart point of view, so that multi-time frame is also not suggesting that much attractive move in this particular space. So meanwhile, at least today point of view, or from at least from a next 2 week point of view, or next 2 to 4 week point of view, I can say that at least Bank Nifty, unless and until it is trending below 38,800 or roughly 39,000, it will remain traded in sideways. And if I talk about sideways range from the next 2 week perspective, so in upside it is like 38,000, and in downside it is around 34,000, 35,000. So most probably it will remain traded next 2 week perspective I'm talking. So next 2 week perspective, most probably it will remain traded in the range of 35,000 to 38,000 with some kind of negative bias only. So this is my opinion about this Bank Nifty. Now another major sector, that is Nifty IT. Okay, so Nifty IT. So if you remember Nifty IT, my comment about this Nifty IT. So I am consistently giving my negative opinion about Nifty IT index from the last 6 months, especially from the October onwards. That from the last November, I can say precisely from the November onward, I am consistently saying that now most awaited correction has started in IT space, and now somehow it will start losing momentum. Okay, so it is showing some negative momentum and everything. But at the same time, if I talk about moving average point of placement of moving average, so Nifty IT index is trending below all key moving averages. This is the daily chart of Nifty IT index, and this black line over here is this black line over here is 200 moving average, 200. So now it is trending below 200 moving average. And another thing is that the earning reported by this TCS and Infosys is also not that much attractive or not as per market expectation. So that is the another reason that it has pulled down this particular index in downward trajectory. So once again, from the next week point of view, I can say, or next 2 week point of view, I can say it will remain traded in sideways only unless and until it is trading below 200 exponential moving average. And currently 200 exponential moving average is placed around in between 34,500 to 35,000. So maybe overall placement in this particular sector, that is Nifty IT index, is also looking quite negative. But if I talk about downward downside level, then if I talk about Nifty IT downside level, so there is a level in my opinion, and so in my opinion, slowly and gradually this particular IT index will fall around 28,000 level. So if I talk about the current level, so current level is 31,800, and if I'm expecting 28,500 or 28,900, 510 28,900 level. So once again I'm expecting that slowly and gradually in next coming few months, this Nifty IT index will correct another 10 to 12% or 15% correction. Or I can say that if another 10 to 15% or 12 to 15% correction may happen this particular IT space also. So now in my opinion, this IT pack is now moved into from buy on dip to sell on rise scenario. So my bias is once again is quite negative for this IT space only, even after considering and it is not because of technical only. There are a lot of factors from the economic front and everything, and all that factors are also not suggesting that there was a good move may happen. But it is my opinion, if situation will change, so obviously I will change my opinion. But whatever I am discussing to you meanwhile, it is my personal opinion at the same at current level, but obviously on the basis of certain rational thing. So please do not take it in either way or negative way, that is that today's Pawan is talking in very negative way. See, I generally like to talk current place of market only, whether it is showing positive side or negative side. But yes, whatever market is trying to suggest me, or what I am able to read the market, just I am sharing with my opinion with you. And this all these things about my opinion about all these major index like Nifty, Bank Nifty, and this another indexes, this IT. Now let's talk about another index, that is Nifty Metal. So if you remember from the last so many months, we are consistently saying that once it will cross and hold above 6,000 level, 6,100 level, then it is door is open for 8,000, 8,000 kind of 8,500 kind of levels. Now after giving breakout, first time I tried to give breakout in the month of October, but somehow it failed and then once again entered into sideways. And afterward, once again it has given breakout this time, and after consolidation it started accelerating upward trajectory, and recently it has retested level of around 6,800. And after not retesting, after touching fresh high 6,800, now from the last few trading session it is trading in sideways only. But my bias is positive in this particular space, unless and until if I to be precisely, if I talk about this particular sector, that is Nifty Metal, unless and until it is holding about 6,000 level, I can say that this door is open for 8,000, 8,500 kinds of level. So I'm expecting in next few quarters, maybe 3 to 5 quarters approximately, this Nifty Metal index will try to try to climb down this 8,000 to 8,500 kinds of level. So overall structure is quite bullish. There are a lot of stocks really doing good in this particular space. So in my opinion, this particular sector is looking quite attractive. Okay, so now I have discussed four major sectors. Now I am handing over this to my colleague Atisa. He will discuss few sectors.
Thank you, Pawan. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let us discuss Nifty Auto first. Okay, so everyone can see my screen. So Nifty Auto, after if you observe the long-term chart on the weekly chart, So it's trading in a sideways range from last October, from this month of February. So it has been trading in the sideways range, and it is trading after it took support at its 100 EMA. It's tried to come up with the positive trend, but after that 2 weeks, it has witnessing a profit booking. So because of the overall market is going in a profit booking zone from last 2 weeks. So after that, in the daily time frame, if you come back, so last time we are talking about here, so it was facing some resistance around its 100 EMA. So that trend is still continuing, and uh, auto index has been trading sideways within its 200 DMA and 50 DMA. So it's clear that now its 100 EMA is a very good resistance, and so so what also, if you observe, there is a death crossover in the Nifty auto index. So 50 DMA is undercutting its major moving average 200 DMA. So it's in a sideways trend. It's kind of make or break a kind of situation for Nifty auto. So uh, what is our setup over here? Like, what we can do is better to wait for this breakout. This breakout is something around the break above its 11,011. That is also 100 DMA. So once it breaks above that level, we can say that now auto index has been moved to some bullishness is coming back to auto sector. So as of now, there is no it's trading in a consolidation zone. So 11,000 will be the key level on the upside. So on the downside, what will happen if it doesn't support this level? So once again, it may test 10,000 level in the coming days. So now, as of now, better to wait and watch in the auto sector. So on the downside, 10,000 is a level, is a key major support level for Nifty auto. So next sector will be Nifty Pharma. So Nifty Pharma also kind of similar situation where after it moved up from the lower level, and it started trading sideways. From last, if you observe here, from last 4-5 weeks, it's trading in a sideways trend. So uh, also, if you come down to the daily chart, so after, if you see here, there is a trend line over here connecting the highs of October and December. So after it breaks out, it has moved sideways, and it was facing resistance. It currently facing resistance at its 200 DMA, which is major crucial level. And also, if you observe, there is, after it breaks out, there is a support over here, and it's trading in a very sideways range, narrow trading session. Even MACD is also coming to negative zone, and it's hovering around this level. So what is our ideal situation is here, the breakout level will be 14,000. So 13,800, 14,000 will be the either breakout level on the upside, will be the very good key for Nifty Pharma index. So once it breaks out at that level, so we can look into that particular stocks in that particular in that sector. So till then, uh, this index is trading in sideways, so there is no bearishness sign. The major bearishness sign is not yet given from the price side, but already it has made a rounded top kind of formation over here. So be trade wisely in this sector. So breaks below this 13,000 level, it may move again. It may move towards 12,800 level in the coming days. So as of now, the trend is sideways with kind of slightly negative bias on the Nifty Pharma. So let's move to Nifty FMCG. So these are kind of defensive bets when there is a market is falling, but still the current inflation and all is denting this FMCG sector and consumption sector. So after that, if you observe here, there is a trend line which is connecting highs of November to January. So after that breakout, this particular sector is still in a rally attempt. If you observe that the first slide which Pawan has shared, the still sector is in a rally attempt. So it has not given a clear cut uptrend. but there is a trend line breakout over here and try to move on. It's surpassed its 200 DMA. But if you observe, there is a slope of that 200 DMA has become downwards. So overall trend is kind of negative, especially in the last yesterday. But yesterday, what happened is it took out all the last 4 trading sessions gains in one single day. So the overall trend is here is sideways. So till then the major support will be this trend line as well as 50 DMA. So that is comes around 36,400 level. So this is a level for Nifty Fmcg to look on the downside. So if it breaks this below, once again it may test its lower low price formation, which is something around 35,000. Okay, on the upside, so once again breaks out this level of the its previous high. So once again it may come under the bullishness, but as of now there is no bullish sign is showing in the Nifty Fmcg sector. Okay, and also last sector is Nifty Realty. Okay. So this is also sector moving in a sideways trend. So after that, somewhere around here, last time also when we are discussing it, it was clear that it was facing that resistance in this trend line. So at present, it is evident that it is not able to break that trend line and not able to give a fresh breakout above that level, that is 480 500 level. And once again, it moved towards sideways kind of range. And it's hovering around 50 DMA and 100 DMA. Sorry, 50 DMA and 200 DMA. So as of now, the trend is negative with a sideways bias, and we once again it breaks out this 480 500 level, we can see that we see this index, and on the downside, it might witness towards 420 400 levels in the coming days. So on the Nifty Realty sector, there is still in the sideways range. So this 50 DM will be the crucial level for this as of now. So on the downside, 400 is the key level to watch. So this is about Nifty. I think we have covered all the indexes.
Yeah, Disha, can you fix another chart, Nifty Energy, so I can discuss immediately?
Okay.
So if I talk about Nifty Energy, so Nifty Energy in clear-cut uptrend, and if we do component analysis of this whole Nifty Energy, so almost all stocks is in clear-cut uptrend. Sometimes power is taking the show, sometimes Reliance is taking the show, sometimes oil marketing companies are taking the show. So that is why this particular index, that is Nifty Energy, is consistently on week basis and month-on-month basis is moving in upward trajectory only. So now from the last 2 days, like Reliance has taken the whole lead the whole movement of market, and not only this energy as well, or I mean all market, and because of that, this energy index is gaining on weekly basis, daily basis. But overall, so if I talk about from here, so from here it is very difficult to predict the upside level, obviously, because it is from the last so many months it is trending into uncharted trajectory, and momentum is very strong on all time frame chart, like be it weekly, be it daily or monthly. So momentum is strong as such. Meanwhile, there is no sign of negativity on any particular time frame chart. So I can say that slowly and gradually it is moving toward, currently it is placed around 28,700. So I can say that slowly and gradually it is moving toward 30,000. So maybe in coming few days it will move toward this 30,000. I am not denying for that. But yes, one should remain very cautious in this particular space. But at the same time, if I do component analysis, so if I do component analysis, so then NTPC is looking good, Power Grid is looking good, Reliance is now looking good. almost whole pack like oil marketing company is looking quite attractive at this particular juncture. So that is why if I ignore the overall placement or overall uncharted trajectory of this particular index, so I can say that slowly and gradually it will move toward 30,000 levels. So looking attractive at current juncture, and it may gain further from here. That's what I want to say about this particular sector, that is Nifty Energy. And last sector, that Nifty Media. Let's discuss immediately in 1 minute only. So because always there are few people request from there are few people that discuss media. So meanwhile it is facing resistance around 2500, and after this it has formed something double top like type of pattern on daily and weekly chart. So I can say that now from now onward, unless and until it will not cross 2450 to 2500 kind of level, we would say that it will remain traded in sideways. Today it is placed around 2300. So I can say unless and until it will not cross this particular level, that is that range is the level range is 2450 to 2500, 2450 to 2500. So unless until it is trading below this particular range, I can say that it will remain traded in sideways. Meanwhile, there is no as such big negativity in this particular sector, Nifty Media, but yes, it will remain traded sideways. But once it will cross that particular range, that 2450 to 2500, I can say that the fresh bull trend is started. So let's see how development will happen in next 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I can say that the neutral, I want to say neutral comment from my side. It will remain traded in sideways or like that. But the day it will cross that this particular range, I have suggested it will give fresh breakout. So that's it from my side. Now let's move to what query section. So let's take first query actually. First query, 1 minute. Okay, let's take LTTS first query.
Okay. So
LTTS.
There are a lot of IT stocks are there.
So when I was discussing about IT, so I have clearly, even from the last so many months, I am consistently mentioning, even I am mentioned on media as well, that most of it correction is now happening in IT space, and slowly and gradually it will move. Like when I was discussing in Nifty index, IT index, in my opinion, it may move toward 28,000. Likewise, if I talk about this IT index, LTTS, so meanwhile, currently it is placed around today's closing price is 4195, around 4200. So I can say that I'm expecting another at least 15 to 20% kind of fall may happen in this particular stock, that is LTTS. So in my opinion, what I'm expecting that most probably it is ready to move toward not only, sorry, but not 15 to 20%, 20 to 25% fall may happen from here. So in my opinion, I am expecting at least 3200 kind of level in this. So 4200 to 3200. So whatever percentage comes, so I am expecting it may fall further from here. So overall structure is now turned negative, and sustainable trading below, even it is trading below 4400 level, because today's rate is 4200. But if somehow it will cross 4400 and then remain started trending above 4400, then I can then only I can say that the positivity is returning in this particular stock. But unless and until it is trading below 4400 and meanwhile it is around 4200, I can say that this downward trend will remain in continuation, and slowly and gradually it may correct another 1000 rupees from here, whatever percentage that comes to 20 or 25%. So in my opinion, overall structure is bearish, but it does not mean that in between you will not see very good bounce back. Obviously, maybe after touching after correcting another 10%, it will give bounce back of 5-7%. I am not denying for that, but from the midterm perspective, I am expecting fall in this particular stock, that is LTTS.
Okay.
Next is let's take Apollo Hospital, and then so Apollo Hospital, if I talk about Apollo Hospital, so it did nothing from the last 3 months actually, and now it is trending in sideways only. But yesterday only it has given very good move of I think 5-6%, and showing some positivity. So I can say one level actually from this current level, and that particular level is 4500. Meanwhile, it is trending around 4800. So I can say that unless and until it is trending above 4800, some positivity will remain in this particular stock. But at the same time, it is facing resistance around 5,000 level. So in upside, I can say that it may remain, it may face resistance around 5,000. And once it will cross 5,000, then I can say that the fresh uptrend is starting. But it is not looking that much attractive, but at the same time, it is not looking negative. So I am expecting that it will remain traded in sideways with positive bias, not with negative bias, with positive bias. So it is like that. So I can say that unless and until it is trending above 4,500 kind of level, I can say that this particular stock will remain in buy on the particular strategy for short term point of trading point of view. So looking attractive, not looking at that much attractive, but at least not looking that much bad as well at the same time. And unless and until just keep level in downside 4,500, in upside 5,000. Once it will clear 5,000 in upside, then I can say that further positivity will turn in this particular space. Okay, now uh, let's take KPIT. In my, once again, if I am if I am commenting something negative about IT, whole IT pack, so obviously IT components or IT stocks are also not looking quite attractive to me. So likewise, this KPIT technology is not looking attractive to me, and I'm expecting fall in this particular space also. But somehow it has support around 530. Meanwhile, today's trading price is around, or closing price is around 545. But what I'm expecting, once it will reach a 530 kind of 525 530 kind of level in downside, so I can say that further fresh downside will start in this particular stock, that is KPIT technology. So looking negative to me at this level. Same way, another IT, let's take another IT, that is is, is there any query related to? No, I think there is no more query related to IT. Okay, so let's take HDFC twins actually. Yatisha, one by one.
Let's take HDFC first.
HDFC Limited.
Limited, yeah.
HDFC Limited. 1 minute. So see, if I talk about current structure, so not looking that much attractive. But there is a news also happened last week, like merger of this HDFC Bank and HDFC Limited, and because of that there was a sharp bounce back at the time of market opening. I think it was happened in last week, and after that stock entered into negative trajectory, or especially, and it has accelerated further downside, especially after Q4 earning of this HDFC Bank. And HDFC Bank and HDFC Limited both are trending in and downward trend only. So I can say that if I talk about this HDFC Limited, so it may fall another 5-7%, 8% or 10% maximum from, in my opinion, at least from here. So it may fall toward 2,000 rupees. I am not denying for that, but that would be quite good at a good opportunity to buy in this particular space around 2,000 rupees. So meanwhile, it is both stock SDB, HDFC Limited or HDFC Bank, both is in quite a downward slope or downward trending trend. But I'm not denying another 5-6%, 7% fall. But at the same time, what I am expecting that would give a very good opportunity. So if I talk about HDFC Bank, so HDFC Bank may fall 1,200 kind of levels in coming few months or coming few weeks. If I talk about HDFC Limited, so it may fall around 2,000 kind of level, and maybe that would give a very good opportunity for long-term investor or mid-term to long-term investor to accumulate this particular stock. So just keep watching this particular stock, and whatever levels I have suggested at that time, once again we will discuss with you via this Bazar Pe Charcha, and that would give a very good opportunity to enter from longer-term perspective in this both stock actually. Now let's talk Call India. So Call India is in clear-cut uptrend. Even yesterday, I think, MSI added in this portfolio. So as such, it is looking quite attractive. So no doubt. And another thing is that in current scenario, there is a lot of for economy or for other point of view. If I talk about it, is a negative news. But if I talk about Coal India point of view, so news are quite positive. So structure is also positive. Even this stock is falling as per O'Neill methodology also. So, and MSI have also added in this stock. So looking attractive, most probably it is ready to move toward at least 235 to 240 kinds of levels in coming few days. So I am expecting at least 20% of kind of moves may happen from here in this coal India in coming few weeks. Okay. And can you take at least a few queries?
Yeah, I'll take even Tata Elxsi, in the whole IT pack, it has been outperforming till that March. So after that, whole IT pack has been, after the earnings, it has fallen down. So this stock also has been taking a hit from the all-time high, which is something around 9,200 level. And also, if you see, observe here, there is a double top in the RSI. So kind of that level, it is making a reversal from there. So if you consider the price structure, if you observe the historical price structure from here from the last March, so it is trading, it's respecting its 50 DMA, and it's after that it's going above. So now at current juncture also it's trading near its 50 DMA. So overall the structure is weak, but it might take this 50 DMA as a support and may bounce back higher. But as of, let me see the overall long-term chart. So yeah, so as of now there is no that much weakness, which is a kind of small profit booking which is happening at the higher level. So stock is kind of bullish. Still, it's trading above 50, until it's trading it's above 50 DMA. So once it breaks above that 50 DMA, so once again, we can expect a fall towards its 7,000 level. Then they may test its 200 DMA, that is 6,000 level. So as of now, there is bearishness sign in this. So as of now, it's holding its 50 DMA. So until it's holding its 50 DMA. Okay, so that is a observation on Tata Elxsi.
That is why I want to share one point regarding this Tata Elxsi. So see, if you remember, this particular stock was the leader in this whole IT pack, and now from the after touching 9200 level around, now it is in correction. So it will still remain traded. It will still remain in outperform. It will still remain outperform stock. I am not denying for that. But yes, now whole scenario has changed. So maybe it will not hit another fresh high and like that. It will enter into sideways kind of move with some kind of short term to point or short to mid term point of kind of negative bias. Otherwise, still there is no as such bad pattern on this particular stock. But after obviously, if whole IT pack is showing some negativity, so this will also remain traded in like that way only. So that is the only reason. And one more thing that when I was discussing about HDFC twins, so there is a question from Rushi Master about HDFC twins despite mutual fund and buying and everything. So see, there are a lot of theory running in the market, and one theory just I have heard that after this merger news, there are so many fund houses as forced to sell stocks because they cannot keep beyond certain limit of stock, and after like that. So maybe this is the another reason as that stock is falling. But it is very difficult to comment that whether it is happening because of a economical point of view, or whether it is happening because fall is happening because of this merger news or any other news. But yes, but I am right, even I am not an appropriate person to discuss in that regard also. But obviously I try to track whatever I am able to track. But if I talk about technically, so I have already discussed my opinion about HDFC twins. Okay. Yatisha, please take.
Yeah, let's take Sona comes. So he's talking to automobile. So this 1 second. So this stock has been trading after the solid listing. It has gained almost 800, so 3-4 times, almost doubled its return in the IPO stage. So after that, it moved to sideways. So overall trend is kind of we can see sideways over here. So there is a downtrend and making a lower low price formation over here. And after that, here it took a support and tried to it did not break this previous low. So from here, it is from last 3 days, it is making a try to recover from there. So we can say uh, so there is a slight possibility like if it breaks above this trend line, so we can say that we can say that stock has been moved to, it was facing strong resistance at this level, and once it breaks out this level, we can look for the buy signal over here. So with the stop loss of this low around 615 610 of low. So we can keep this in a watch list. So as of now, if you can see, auto sector also in the similar situation where it is either it is a breakout or breakdown kind of situation. So once it breaks out this level, one can look into this stock for the good buyer for the target of around 770 kind of level. Okay, so it's kind of 100 rupees profit goal you can keep, and with the stop loss of 60 rupees kind of. Okay, so this is about Sona comes, and the one more query is Maithan Alloy. So Maithan Alloy also is making kind of higher low price formation, and it's holding its 21 DMA. So as of now, we at this current point of time, we can't say we should go and jump into this stock. So as of now, there is no buy signal over here. So if you are holding this stock, keep this stock in with the, you can keep two stop loss. Either if you are a short term investor, you can keep the stop loss around today's low, kind of below today's low, that is around 1400 1430, or else you can also keep the stop loss of 1330 if you're okay with your risk reward ratio. So the stop loss, ideal stop loss will be somewhere around 1330. So if you are holding this stock, hold this stock with the stop loss of 1330. So at this current juncture, no buy signal yet. Okay, so about Maithan Alloy, and let's move on to
Let's take Divis live. Yatisha.
okay.
So
Okay.
if I talk about short to mid term point of view, in Divis live, so it is showing sideways kind of trend only. If I talk about level point of view, so there is a level that is 4600. Once it will cross 4600, then I can say that there is a short term breakout from short term point of view, and in such particular scenario, stock is ready to move toward 4800, and it's followed by 5000 kind of level. So above 4600, I am not denying for 5-6%, 7% move. Otherwise, it is trading sideways only. From the, and if I talk about from the next 1 month perspective also, then also multi-time frame chart suggests that sideways kind of move. But once it will cross a 4600 level, then some positive action may happen from 5-6% or 7% in coming few days. But 4600, but it is mandatory, or in my opinion, it is it must or it should cross 4600 level in this particular stock. Okay. Now another query is
Let's take
Tata Communication. Let's take Tata Communication.
okay.
So Tata Communication is also like that way only. It is also trending in sideways only, and it is formed recently. It has formed a rounded bottom around support area, and after that it has given a good move of almost 10%, and afterward once again entered into correction. So overall structure is not looking that much bad actually. Now stock is trending above all key moving averages, and from the last 1 week it is in consolidation range only. So structure is not looking that much negative, obviously, on all time frame chart or multi-time frame chart. And most probably slowly and gradually it will move further from here. But at the same time, I'm not expecting very good move. But as 5-7%, 8% move may happen in upside. Otherwise, it will remain traded in sideways only. So from the level perspective, I can say that once it will cross level of 1360, meanwhile it is 1310. So once it will cross the 1360, so I am expecting another 80 to 100 rupees move kind of may happen in this particular stock. That is Tata Communication.
So let us move on to Tata Power also.
Tata Power.
Yeah.
So when I was discussing about this energy stock, energy sector, so energy index is looking attractive, and Tata Power is a part of energy index. But from the last, after hitting this around 3300 level, actually, it is entered into sideways zone or short-term kind of correction. But still, overall placement is quite attractive, and it is still trending above almost all key moving average except 21 exponential moving average. So maybe it will take support around this 100 DMA, and up it will start bouncing from that. Once it will breach this 100 DMA, which is currently placed around 240. So once it will breach that 100 DMA, so maybe problem will start. Otherwise, it may bounce back. So possibility of bouncing from 100 DMA is quite high. But let's see how development will happen if market will goes into correction. Suppose market will breach, Nifty will breach 16,800 and it went into sharp correction, then obviously it is not going to hold in upside. Otherwise, meanwhile, it seems that if market will remain traded in this like this only sideways or with some positive or negative thing, so maybe it may take support around 100 DMA. If someone is interested to buy, then one can buy around 100 DMA with appropriate stop loss, obviously, because especially in this kind of market, stop loss is needed. So just keep watching this 240 level. If it is bounce back, then I'm not denying for 10-15% kind of move in this particular stock. That is Tata Power. Otherwise, overall structure is quite bullish. Now, let's take Lodha. That Macrotech Realty. Lodha belongs to IT pack. Realty sector. And now suddenly it has breached 200 exponential moving average, and now it is trending below that. So overall structure, I can say that not looking quite attractive. I would not suggest anybody to enter at this particular level. I would suggest to avoid at this juncture, because now if correction will happen, and especially interest rising scenario and everything, sooner or later, not sooner, most probably in May cycle, Federal Reserve will increase, obviously, their interest rate at least by 25 to 50 basis point, and then RBI will also follow that particular path. And especially in interest rising scenario, that realty stocks realty stock do not do well in this particular interest rate rising scenario. So I would not suggest anybody to take entry in this particular stock. If someone has taken entry in this, I would suggest I would suggest them to please exit and bounce back, actually, at least from time being, or at least from midterm perspective from this particular stock.
Okay. So
now, is there any major question related to frontline stock?
there are no.
Let's take ITC and Bata. First ITC and then Bata.
Okay.
Then take time. ITC. So let's first talk about ITC. There are a lot of meme, I can say, or a lot of funny news in the market, especially on a WhatsApp group, that ये तो एक दिन तो पता ही था कि चलेगा ही ऐसा वैसा, whatever it is. So now after after last 1.5 month or 2 month move, I can say that some positivity has turned in particular space, and slowly and gradually it will remain trading in upward trajectory only. So it is not looking that much good. At the same time, it is not looking bad also. So maybe slowly and gradually it will start trending in upward trajectory. Current today's closing price is around 260. I'm expecting slowly and gradually this stock may gain 8 to 10% from here, and may retest to 280 to 285 kind of levels in coming few weeks, actually. But if I talk about an entry point of view, so meanwhile, this is not a right time to take fresh entry. I would suggest someone to follow on buy on dip strategy in this particular stock, and do not take it at current level. But if someone is holding, so one can remain holding, hold this particular stock for the level of 280 to 285 point of view. Another is Bata. So Bata once again trending above. Anyway, it is trending above all key moving averages, but overall sentiment from the last 3-4 months is negative, sideways only. Recently, it has given breakout, downward sloping trend line breakout, but somehow it has failed, and it is still holding above that particular level. So I'm not saying a negativity. Negativity will turn only once it will breach and 1825 kind of level and start remain traded above 8525 kind of level, that is 200 DMA, unless and until it will remain traded with sideways kind of thing. So overall structure is not looking quite negative. So if I talk about percentage point of view, so 1820-25 is almost around 5% from here. If someone wants to take entry at this particular level, so one can take risk of 5% kind of stop loss and can take position in this particular stock. But yes, structure is not looking that much attractive, because once a bias would turn positive, once it will cross 2050 only. Once it will cross and hold above 2050, then only positivity will return in this particular stock. Otherwise, it will remain traded in sideways only. But if someone wants to take early entry prior to breakout, so one can take, but just keep stop loss. That is 1820 kind of levels in downside. Another is TechM. So TechM once again is a major IT company, I can say, and now it is trending above all key moving averages below 200. Now there's some death crossover scenario is happening on daily chart, like 50 DMA and 200 DMA death crossover. So now not looking attractive. Once again, I would suggest to avoid to take fresh entry in this particular stock. That is Tech Mahindra. Now let's take Siemens. Siemens and afterward IEX, Indian Energy Exchange.
Okay. So
can you take it, Siemens?
Yeah, I will take it. So Siemens has been trading in sideways range only. So overall, there is no much weakness. Still holding about its 50 DMA, and there is from last 2 days, if you observe, there is a strong support from it. It's 100 DMA. So, and overall history also, there is a strong support at its 100 DMA. So just wait for 100 DMA and 200 DMA. But overall, the sentiment has been the risk reward ratio will not be favorable in terms of taking the position. So in terms of support, if you are already holding the stock from the lower levels, just wait for 100 DMA and 200 DMA as the next level of support. Okay, so as of now, there is no fresh entry. So once it crosses above this level, so if you observe here, there is a double top kind of formation. So it's kind of this level, the previous high on a closing basis. So this level, that is around 2500, 2520. So once again it crosses that level, one can take the fresh position in this particular space. Okay, so that is about Siemens. And one more thing is IEX. Okay, so IEX also trading in sideways kind of range. Overall trend is after touching its 200 DMA, it is maintaining its higher low price formation. So it's still trending in sideways kind of range. So overall, so there is no fresh signal we can recommend it over here. So the one who are holding it, one can keep the stop. Better to sell at current juncture, and better to wait for another breakout and make a fresh entry in terms of whatever the risk management you are holding. So better to wait for another breakout level and again come back to this position. So as of now, there is no fresh entry in the IEX. So it's hovering around its 100 DM and 200 DM. The overall trend is sideways. Okay, so that is about IEX. And let's take There are
I
defense.
want to take one query related to defense related stock
Yeah.
asked by Harish Mundra. So
Mm.
see, Harish, actually at current scenario, this there is a two thing actually, especially Indian defense stock. One is there is a, some import ban from government. Then there are now it is mandatory from government side that they have to develop. It is mandatory to develop indigenous product, certain products. One thing. Another thing is that current scenario itself, that war is happening and our world is preparing for third world war. Even it is not good for human being, for people like us, or world, for whole world even. But of course it is good for this defense stock actually. So all defense stock is well placed, but only one thing is that it has rallied lot in last 1.5 month. If you are able to manage the risk in downside, then one can take entry. If I talk about BEL point of BEL, so for disclaimer purpose, today only we have booked around 12% profit after partial and everything, BEL. So whole defense pack is looking quite attractive, and it is in buy on dip kind of strategy, or almost all stocks are in buy on dip kind of strategy. So if there is some very good attractive point entry level is there, so one can take or monetize that particular stock entry, or take entry in this particular stock. So obviously all stocks like be it BDL, BEL, HAL, Mazgaon Docks, whatever it is, GRSC, all are looking quite attractive. Even Paras Defense is also looking quite attractive, and we have added in our portfolio also. But unfortunately, from the last 2 days, it has entered into sideways zone. But yes, it will trigger a stop loss or anything like that. That is different thing. But it is looking quite attractive. Okay. Uh, Same thing. This sugar stock only. I don't want to take any one by one query related to sugar stock, because Deepak Mehta is asking about Balrampur Chini. So this sugar stock is also well placed because of this. One is this, especially because of ethanol and everything. So looking quite attractive, and this particular space is also buy on dip kind of strategy, follow buy on dip kind of strategy. So if someone is able to find very good opportunity entry level, or opportunity to enter in any particular frontline sugar stock, so one can take entry in that. Otherwise overall structure is bullish in sugar stock also. Let's take only one query related to sugar stock, that is Balrampur Chini, asked by this Deepak. So if I talk about Balrampur Chini, so obviously from the last 1 month it is in consolidation range only. Almost last six weeks actually, to be precise, 5 to 6 weeks. Otherwise overall structure is bullish. Maybe once it will give breakout above 520, 525. Meanwhile currently 485 today's closing price. So once it will give break, so I can say that there is a fresh breakout. In such case it will start gaining further. Or either or in alternative, I can say that if the stock fall from here and it took any key moving average support and a trend line support, and it started bouncing from that level, at that time also one can take entry in this particular sector, as well as in this particular stock. So meanwhile it is not giving any entry point, but yes, structure is quite attractive. One can wait for entry level for entry point. I think we have discussed a lot of queries today. Yeah, Disha, let's take last two queries from you, then we will
Okay.
wrap up this session.
There are few stocks. There are few stocks like from engineering space. So let us take. Mm, so today, a lot of engineering stocks have been risen up. So this stock is also kind of uh, given a breakout over here, and it's moved up. Today it has moved up. So the ideal better entry was around 16,000 or 16,070, 16,080 level. So as of now, there is no at this current point of time, the stop loss would be somewhere around 1590. So it is something around more than 8 to 9%. So uh, if you are if your risk reward ratio is okay, then we go for that 1580 as a stop loss, kind of 11 to 12% kind of stop loss. So the better entry was somewhere around 16,000 or 17,000, 16,080 something. So
1600, Disha, not 16,000.
Yeah, 1600 somewhere
1700.
around. Yeah, 1630. That was a maximum possible.
In short, it has given breakout, and one can take entry if it is if one can follow buy on dip strategy.
Yes,
But
yes,
just keep stop loss around 1580, 1580.
yes.
If someone is able to manage the risk in this particular step, one can take position buy on dip and follow buy on dip strategy.
Okay. So
Another one,
there is one more.
Schaeffler.
Yeah, I guess. Even this stock has been trading at all-time high. So at current juncture, if you are holding this stock, you can hold this stock with the stop loss of you can keep the stop loss around 50 DMA or else 100 DMA, which is a very good stop loss where a couple of times it has gone up. After touching that, it has gone up. So which is comes very deep, somewhere around 200 rupees or 200 rupees from the current juncture. So based upon your risk reward ratio, please trade. And as of now, there is no weak sign of weakness over here. So it's almost touched its profit booking kind of zone here. Okay, so there is no fresh entry at this current juncture for capital. Okay.
I'm taking last query of the day.
Okay.
That is Graphite India, and then we will wrap up this session. So if I talk about Graphite India, so it has already given breakout of downward sloping trend line, connecting high of May 21 and then August 21, and it is given breakout, and now it is hovering around that trend line only. If I talk about this moving average point of view, this Graphite India. So Graphite India is now trending above all key moving averages also. But slope of long-term moving averages is not upward, especially this 100-day moving average and 200 days moving average is flattened moving average. But overall structure is not looking that much negative. Looking even it is looking positive only. So one can take position in this particular space or this particular stock. Stop loss is obviously below 500. That is 10% from here or more than 10% from here. So if someone is managed to able to manage to keep stop loss below 500, one can take entry in this particular stock. In upside, if I talk about, so in upside, if there is a very good move happen, then I am expecting 20 to 25% gain, or I can say that 670 to 680 kind of levels can be achievable in this particular stocks in coming few weeks. So it is like that. So risk reward is also there, obviously. So it has given breakout and looking good to take entry in this particular stock. So I think we have discussed a lot of queries, and we have discussed all major sector and minor sector as well. And we have taken so many queries. Even I'm accepting that there are a lot of queries pending, but we cannot we cannot answer almost all queries. But we try to answer almost all major stock queries related to various sectors. And so I would request all of you to write us regarding a query on either on Telegram or on email. We will try to reply all queries of your stock related or index related. So thank you joining for this session. Let's connect in next week once again. Thank you. Thanks for joining this session.
Thank you all.